Okay, so we're about a month away from the Euro 2024 tournament, with a few teams releasing their squads, including Germany going into the tournament. So that means that in a few, England will be releasing their team for the Euros. England have a lot of pressure going into this tournament, seeing that they have one of the most talented squads, maybe other than France in the tournament, and I think they have a really good chance at winning it this time. Keep in mind that this could be their first trophy since 1966. It's been way too long, and I think they have a chance at winning it this time. I initially planned on making a video on how I would field England at the World Cup with their squad and everything, but I realized that it was vastly different from what Southgate would pick. So I thought to myself, why don't I try to predict the England squad going into the Euro 2024? There are 26 names to be picked in the squad, and I'd be interested to see how many names I get correct. And you know what? If I get less than 80 names, which is about 72%, don't ask me why I calculated. I am stupid. I will send 1 minute VNs to both Trent Alexander-Arnold and Scott McTominay on why they are the greatest players of all time. And if you guys know me, I genuinely despise these players, so I'll try not to get anything wrong. But for now, if you're new to the channel, please make sure to subscribe. We are close to 1,000, so please make sure to subscribe. And yeah, let's get on with the video now. Okay, so I took time to draft up this team, and I tried not to get anything wrong and just think like Gareth Southgate, because if I'm being honest, if it were up to me, half of these players wouldn't be here. But we'll start off with the goalkeepers, and the three goalkeepers I have here will be Jordan Pickford, Sam Johnstone and Aaron Ramsdale. I think the number one goalkeeper for England is more or less obvious. I think Jordan Pickford has been consistent for both England and Everton each season. I think we've seen his big saves in the 2018 World Cup or even at the Euros in 2021. Even with the points deduction that Everton got earlier in the season, without Jordan Pickford's big saves, I think Everton really get relegated. So as a whole, I think Jordan Pickford is a really good goalkeeper and will be starting for England at the Euros. And as well, we have Sam Johnstone. I think this one is kinda iffy because he doesn't start for Crystal Palace as much anymore. Henderson is the one starting at Palace right now, so I'm not really sure about this one, but Southgate doesn't really change his goalkeepers as much, so I think I'm gonna keep Johnstone in here. And of course, we have Aaron Ramsdale, someone who hasn't really played a lot for Arsenal this season, seeing that David Raya has taken his spot. I think it's really kind of unfortunate that he's not starting right now. He's a really good goalkeeper, but I think Raya has been better than him this season. The only thing that's helping his chances going to the Euros is that Nick Pope has been injured all season, so I think this confirms him a spot at the Euros. Okay, we'll move on to the defense, and I'll start with the centre backs being Harry Maguire, John Stones, Lewis Dunk and Ezri Konsa. Maguire is someone I don't really rate as a player or as a centre back, but I think the strides that he's come into this season has been something that I've managed to admire this season. I think after all the trolling and abuse that has happened over the past 3 seasons, I think seeing him play good this season has been a breath of fresh air. And has also been a constant in Gareth Southgate's team, so I think his place in this team is secured. Next we have John Stones, I think one of the best centre backs in the world currently. I think he's been injured for most of the season and has been back at Man City recently, but has been on the bench. I still think that he will be at the Euros and maybe starting alongside Maguire in the team. He's confident on the ball and knows how to drive into the midfield, so I think that will be really good for Southgate. Lewis Dunk is also someone who has been consistent under De Zerbi at Brighton this season, also playing in the Europa League. I think he's also going to go to the Euros. He's someone who has been selected recently for the team, so I think he's also confirmed there. And lastly, for the centre backs, we of course have Ezri Konsa, someone who has been really good for Unai Emery's team this season, even helping Aston Villa almost qualify for the Champions League. It's not confirmed yet, but I think they might be there. I don't think he will start for Gareth Southgate, but I think he might be on the plane going to Germany. Now at left back I had a problem because Luke Shaw is someone who'd usually start for England, but he's been injured all season. And of course I'm not sure if he's going to make the team. So I decided to go with Ben Chilwell and Joe Gomez at left back. I don't think Chilwell has been particularly good for Chelsea this season. We even has Marco Cucurella starting over him at left back at Chelsea. But I don't think Southgate will go with someone other than Chilwell at left back. And we also have Joe Gomez, someone I didn't expect to be in talks to go to the Euros at the start of the season. I think he's really been good this season, seeing how Liverpool had so much injuries. He played at right back, at left back. I think he's really been consistent, and that might secure him a place in the England team. And at right back, I think this was the easier part to choose. I think Trent and Kyle Walker will be the right backs going into the Euros. I think with his competition injured, Trent has become the best right back in the Premier League, I think. And we also have Kyle Walker, someone who is currently at the end of their career. I think this might be their last tournament, but I still think that Kyle Walker is really good. He still has that pace on him, and I think he might be good backup for Trent at the Euros. Okay, now onto the midfield. I think this is where it gets a bit interesting, to say the least, and I'll start with the centre midfielders. We have Declan Rice, Jude Bellingham, Jordan Henderson and Conor Gallagher. Declan Rice, after signing for Arsenal for 100 million this season, had a lot of pressure on his back, seeing that he cost a lot of money, but he's just come into his own and has been one of the best holding midfielders in the league this season. He's really helped Arsenal solidify that midfield and compete for the league with City. I think he's someone that Gareth Southgate trusts a lot and will be going to the Euros. Someone else that he also trusts a lot, Jordan Henderson. I think this pick is a no-brainer, seeing that he's always been getting selected even though he was in Saudi Arabia with whatever team he was signed to. Do I think he should go to the Euros? Probably not. But I think Henderson does bring a sort of leadership into the team, and I think that's the only place he kind of helps. So yeah, Henderson is in the team. Then we have his younger brother, Conor Gallagher, someone who plays for Chelsea, and also again, to reiterate, Chelsea haven't been good this season. Conor Gallagher also isn't a midfielder that I'd prefer going to the Euros, but I feel like he's the type of hardworking midfielder that Gareth Southgate would like in the team, so I think he's also going. And then we of course have Jude Bellingham. I don't think I have much to say for this one. He's been really good for Real Madrid this season. Of course, playing in a more advanced role, I think I'd prefer him playing at 8 at the Euros. I think he hasn't really gotten the chance to showcase his abilities at Real Madrid, so him playing at 8 will be really important for England going into the Euros. And then in the number 10 position, we have Cole Palmer and James Maddison. I think it goes without saying that Cole Palmer has one of the best rookie years we've seen in a long time, maybe since, you know what, I'll say it, maybe since Dele Alli. In his first full professional season to be competing for the Golden Boot with Erling Haaland is incredible. He's been played in every position at Chelsea, but I think at the 10 position will be perfect for Cole Palmer going into the Euros. And his backup will be Spurs' James Maddison. He started off the season electric, getting goals and assists for Spurs, but he did manage to get injured and that kind of stalled his progress at Spurs. And I think for someone that Gareth Southgate used to overlook, I think he will definitely be at the Euros this year. And now we have the forwards, which was kind of difficult to decide, but we'll start with the left wingers where we have Phil Foden and Anthony Gordon. I think Foden has proven that he's going to be one of the players of the season this year. I think he's having his best goal scoring season and he doesn't even take penalties. That's how crazy it is. And I think his technical ability is, I think, maybe even top 3 in the squad currently. And I think he's a no-brainer that he's going to be at the Euros. And we also have Newcastle's Anthony Gordon, someone who has also really been consistent for Newcastle this season. Even though there's been kind of a slump with Newcastle with a lot of injuries happening, Anthony Gordon has been consistent, getting at least a goal and an assist in almost each game. So of course I think that Gareth Southgate will bring him to the Euros. And then we look at our right wing spot, we have Bukayo Saka and Jarrod Bowen. I think 2 incredible right wingers, but Saka is going to be the starter at the Euros. He's been incredible for Arsenal. I think this is also his best goal scoring season, and he's also been influential in this title race going on with Man City. He's been the starting winger for England, I think, for a long time right now, and I think he will continue to be the starting winger at the Euros. Jarrod Bowen has been on fire for West Ham this season, getting 30 GA, something I didn't even know until I checked. He's helped West Ham to what looks like a top half finish and a semi-final in the Europa League this season, and I think he should be going to the Euros, and I think Gareth Southgate will take him to the Euros. And as striker, obviously we have Bayern Munich's Harry Kane and Aston Villa's Ollie Watkins. Harry Kane has been unbelievable this season. I don't know how many goals he has. I think it's about 40 something, I'm not sure. The only problem with this man is his trophy curse. How out of all teams are Bayern going trophyless this season?
I hate you! Why you gotta do me like that?
Harry Kane is always guaranteed goals and he is the captain of the team, so he is at the Euros this year. And of course, Ollie Watkins. If Phil Foden does not win Player of the Year, I think he should win Player of the Year. He's been really incredible for Aston Villa this season in the Conference League, in the Premier League, and he does not take penalties at all, which is crazy. And I think it is unfortunate that he won't be starting at the Euros, seeing that Harry Kane has been even more incredible. But I think Southgate does recognize what he's doing and will go to the Euros. So I only named 23 people and I have 3 spots left. I'll consider these spots the reserve spots. There are a lot of people that could go to the Euros based on these 3 spots. I have 7 names who could potentially go to the Euros. These players are Luke Shaw, Reece James, Marcus Rashford, Kobbie Mainoo, Ivan Toney, Jarrad Branthwaite and Rico Lewis. Now I'll go by order of elimination. I think Reece James won't make it to the Euros, seeing that he only just returned to Chelsea training and also just played his first game, which was about 10 minutes. I think even though Jarrad Branthwaite has had a good season for Everton this year, I don't think Southgate might take another centre back, so I'm also going to cross his name out. Then we have Rico Lewis. I think someone in the future will be a starter for England and will be starting for Man City, but right now I don't think he might be selected for this one, so I'll also scratch him out. That leaves me with one more name to scratch out, and I think that might be Kobbie Mainoo. I think it's been really incredible for Manchester United this season, seeing that there has been a lot of injuries and he's just taken his opportunity and has been one of the best players at the team. But I think it's really early to get him to the Euros, seeing that there's people like Bellingham and Rice in the midfield, so it'll be tough to get him in. That's why I'm also going to scratch out his name. Which leaves us with Luke Shaw, Marcus Rashford and Ivan Toney going to the Euros. That is our complete predicted 26-man team going to the Euros this summer. I don't even know if it's summer in Europe. I just hear them say it all the time, so yeah. So we've made it to the end of the video. I have a question for you. Who do you think I missed out in this team and who should have been included? The comments down below are always open. So if you enjoyed the video, please make sure to like it and subscribe if you're new to the channel. We are close to 1,000, so that will help. And for me, I'll see you on the next video. It's been me, Tintin Alpha. Peace.